Hello everybody, this is Jacob Metcalf, a mentor for the Hamilton Code Clubs. In this video I will be going over Lightbot, and essentially it's going to be helpful for you to see how to use it and get familiar with it. I'm also going to be talking about some of the ways that I would teach Lightbot in the Code Club. So, navigate your way to Lightbot. I would recommend using Internet Explorer just because we've had problems on some of the school computers with other web browsers not having the correct plugins that are required. So I would use Internet Explorer just to stay safe. So here we are on lightbot.com/flash.html, and we're going to go ahead and hit play. Okay, so essentially there's a couple different levels. We have the basics, procedures, loops, and then a spriteBox.com. So we're going to start with the basics. Go ahead and click that, and we're going to start on level 1. So this guy's going to pop up a couple times just to kind of give us hints. So he's welcoming us. He's letting us know that the point of this game is to light all of the blue tiles. The way we do that is we issue several different commands. One of the commands being the walk command. Also, the light command tells him to light up the tile. And good luck. Okay, so as you can see, we have the blue tile that we need to light. It's letting us know we have to go forward again, and then finish off with a light. At the top here, the green play button is going to run our steps or code. And there we go, we've done the first level. So moving on, now we can see that there are some new commands. We also need to be able to turn left, and we need to be able to turn right. At this point, I would ask the students to help me solve it. So, as we can see, we're going forward, turning left, going forward and forward again, turning left again, and then going forward twice, and then hitting the light. Now let's run that and see if it works. And there we go. Another thing to be very conscious of when you're using the left turn and the right turn is to think of it from the robot's perspective, not ours. Okay, moving on to the next level. We also have the ability to use the jump command. So the jump command tells them to jump up, or sometimes tells them to jump down. So let's go ahead and try that. So if we jump, turn right, jump, turn right, jump, and light, that should work. Okay, there we go. So now we have going forward, turning left, turning right, also the jump. Let's move on. So here we go. At this point, I would recommend that you let the students try this level on their own, as well as the next couple levels. For the sake of keeping this tutorial short and sweet, I'll be skipping out on these next couple levels, and I'll be moving on to the procedures and the loops, just so that you can introduce this to the students. So I'm going to be going back again, going over to procedures, clicking that, and let's start on level 1. Okay, so like our robot's letting us know, we need more space than the main slot for these next puzzles. We can use proc1 to issue commands that we're going to be doing several times. So as you can see, when he puts in the P1 here, it calls the P1 and it does those moves. So let's try it out. So in our P1, we want to put things that we're going to do multiple times. And if we look closely at the puzzle before just jumping into it, we can see that we will be moving forward 3 times, and then lighting a tile, moving forward 3 times, lighting a tile, moving forward 3 times, and lighting a tile. We do that 3 times. So that's where I will put my code in my procedure 1. So, move forward, turn the light on. Now, the way I use this code is by putting a P1 in main. So let's run that just to make sure it works. So it calls P1, it comes down here, and then it reads this code. Next, we'll be turning right. So if I put it right here, let's run it again, make sure we're on track. He turns right. Now we're just going to do P1 again, and then if we look, he's going to be turning right again, so another right and P1. Let's see if that works. And there you go, we've successfully solved this puzzle with procedures. Moving on to the next level. Here's another instance of procedures, and I'm also going to cover loops in this one because we can actually use a loop. So if we look closely, we will be going forward and turning left, and going forward and turning right and going forward. We're going to be doing actually this multiple times. So let's make sure I'm on the right track here by putting in P1 in my main. Okay, so as you can see, it's almost like the robot's been restarted from where he was. So realistically, we're going to actually be doing this multiple times. And one of the ways to do that is by using a loop. The way we use a loop in this is by putting a P1 inside the P1. What this is going to do is main is going to call P1, which is going to come down here, execute these commands, and when it gets back to P1, it's going to shoot to proc1, and it's going to do this again. Now this is what we would call an infinite loop, so it will do it forever. Now if you're looking closely, you'll notice that nowhere in my code do I have a light. So as you can see, when he got there at the end, he didn't light anything. Now this is important to make a note of, because in coding we make a lot of mistakes all the time. And one of the best ways to code is by using trial and error. So now we know we must need a light. Now if I put it in here, sure it's going to do the light multiple times, but eventually if you look, he'll get there and he'll turn it on. So that's a different way of solving this puzzle. Now I've introduced you to the basics, the procedures, and the loops. So what I like to do is I like to do the basics, first couple basic levels, 3 or 4, and then I let them do a couple on their own. And then once you notice that some of the students are progressing, some of them will move pretty fast, that's when I would jump ahead to the procedures, show them how to use the procedures correctly, and then I will also show them the loops. You'll notice in some of the basics it actually introduces the procedures, so if you want to, when you see people getting to that point, introducing the procedures, you can do that as well. But that will be it for this video. I hope you had some fun watching the Lightbot tutorial. Thanks, this is Jacob, have a great day.